Hi everyone, welcome to today's IronFX live trading session. I'm Kaydin, and now currently it's just at the start of the webinar. I'll be holding on for a couple more minutes before we can get all the attendees to actually come joining in. All right, so for those that have already joined, do let me know in the Q&A box or the chat box, all right, whichever that is working for you guys. That if you can hear me clearly and see me clearly. All right, and I'll proceed to share my screen right now. It'd be great if you guys can let me know if you guys can see or hear clearly. Okay. Okay, so I guess the Q&A box is the one that's working. Thank you for answering. All right, so we are just hold on for a couple more minutes. So for those that are already in here, as this is a live trading analysis webinar, all right, we will try to keep this webinar as interactive as possible. So it'll be great if you guys can actually contribute the pairs that you guys want to see in this current session. Then we will analyze it together. Or it'd be great if you guys have some other questions. You guys can also ask in the Q&A box or section as well. All right, so let's just hang on for a bit more then before we can get all the attendees actually in the webinar. Okay, I think we can start the webinar right now. I do see that we have two pairs that has already been asked for. Okay, so let's look at the person has asked for gold and AUD USD. I think we'll do AUD USD first. Gold is more of a popular pair. So as more participants come in later on, they will want to see gold as well. So to avoid doing it twice, we will do the AUD USD first. All right. Give me a moment. So for a normal approach, we'll do a top-down approach. So I'll be starting from a weekly time frame, then daily, and then 4-hourly. All right. So if there's a particular time frame that you guys want me to look at specifically, I will do so. So just let me know in the Q&A section below. All right. Okay, so let's start with Aussie dollar right now. So we can see it's a very obvious downward flow situation. Seems like there could be a downward moving channel. So let me just take a look. Yep, indeed there is a downward moving channel. All right, there's 2 touches above and 2 touches below. In general, it's a downward moving stream. So this is what we are looking at. We are currently at the top of the channel. So more than likely, maybe we will see the flow of prices to be downward later on. Okay, let's look at daily. So daily, we can see that after price got higher and actually reaching nearby to the tip of the resistance, we can see the high at 0.68639. All right, it made a drastic fall, and then we have a small support here at 0.66762. All right, there's something to observe when you reach H4. All right, let's look at H4. Okay, let me just readjust the nearest support and as well as resistance. Okay, so we are looking at prices to be reacting in between these two touch points. Just checking for a downward stream. So amongst the downward moving channel, we have a bigger downward moving channel on the H4. As much as we are looking at a potential bounce from this support of 0.66426, I'm actually more inclined to see that there is a chance where price could also go with the bigger trend, looking at a downward fall. All right. However, this is subject to what the general market thinks. All right, so in this case, I am following the bigger trend, and I would put, however, I'll still put a stop loss to be quite rather close, and this would be my take profit. All right, so I'm looking at a downward drop, more of a short-term downward drop before we could, if price actually eventually drop beyond this take profit amount, we could, or you could, all right, okay, go in for another sell until the next support line. All right, so we are looking at this current stop loss at 61.8. 50% retracement, all right, just nice where the line, the shadow and the wick of the candles actually touches the 50% retracement. $161.8 touch point to be turned down. So I'm using Fibonacci right now to mark out some of the lines that we actually already marked out based on price action. So this is what I'm currently seeing. I will also be looking at indicators. So let's just look at stochastics. For those that know, we use our stochastics not just based on the 70-80 or 70-30 or 80-20 range. We are using it based on resistance, where we can see that price indeed is stochastic indeed is at the resistance level. All right, pending for a drop. Let's take a look at Ichimoku. Ichimoku should be still pretty, yep, downwards following the entire big trend. You can see the price is way below the clouds, looking for a downward drop. All right, so this is my AUD USD for the person that have asked. I'm sorry, I don't really know how to spend. Do I pronounce it as spend? Is this how you are interpreting your AUD USD, or is there another POV you would like to see? Okay. So I will do the goal a bit later. All right. Because there are still participants streaming in. All right. So for those that just came in, we will try to make this live webinar as interactive as possible. So if you guys can do type your pairs that you want to see being analyzed in the Q&A section below. That would be great. All right. So Sven just now did ask for gold and AUD USD. I'll be doing gold and maybe midpoint of this webinar. It'll be more beneficial for all the participants. All right. So to prevent doing it twice. Is there any other pairs that you guys want to see? If not, we will look at some of the pairs that we normally look at, like silver. Same way, we'll start from the weekly approach. We're looking at a downward moving trend. Not so much. So we are looking at downward moving trend. We have a support at 18.03. Let's do daily. So daily we had a short-term burst up. All right. However, the bigger trend is on the downward movement. So we are pending to see a fall right now from the H4. So two ways to interpret this. Okay. So our stop loss, we'll put it rather close, all right, just above the previous high. 61.8 will be our sale entry, and I believe 76.8 will be our stop loss. So that would be just nice at the peak. However, we will give our analysis a bit more breathing space. Okay, and then we are also looking at stochastics. We are also seeing a drop already, actually has already reacted to the resistance, coming to a drop. All right, so let's also take a look at Ichimoku cloud. Okay, so you can see the Ichimoku cloud price is still above the cloud. All right, so that's something to take note of. That's why we are looking at two different kind of take profit as well. So in any case, this take profit should actually exit the trend line a little bit. We have the first take profit, but if it eventually breaks through this take profit, we can have a second take profit. All right, we are seeing this upward moving trend line for now, so price has yet to break. So this is why we chose to actually have a rather close stop loss that we are looking at. Okay. Okay, this is silver. Anybody else have any pairs to actually question about? Okay, pound dollar, let's take a look. A solid downward movement right now is making a recovery. We can see that there is also a small V-shaped recovery. Let's take a look at daily. All right, so as for daily, it's still maintaining a upward moving trend. All right. H4. Take a look. As for H4, I will still be more inclined to look at an upward moving trend than a downward moving trend. However, I have to have a very close stop loss because it might have already exhausted all of the upward movement. All right. Just to the previous high. Stop loss. I will move it closer. I'll be using Fibonacci in a while for the stop loss. Okay. RSI is not giving much of a help. Oh, I am seeing a divergence. So in this case, I'm looking at upward movement. This is showing me downward movement. Can you guys see? So from this point, price is moving down all the way, right? However, for stochastics is moving upwards. So we are seeing a bullish divergence in this case. So we are more likely to believe a upward movement from the, can you guys see? Upward movement from the price from then on. All right, let's just make it gold. You guys can see this better. Okay, so we are looking at a divergence for pound dollar. So Sven. I believe the indicator Ichimoku cloud, yeah, is still below. So we are not seeing any conversion in that case, but I'm seeing a divergence. All right, for Sven, if this is okay, is there anything else you want me to explore in terms of the POV of the, okay. Okay. Sven, if you have any other pair, I'll be super grateful if you suggest some. Pound yen. Question. Can you guys see my hello? Can you guys see my video? Let's start from the weekly as well for pound yen. After this, we will do gold. All right. So we are seeing a resistance and support at 148.529. All right, pretty big line all the way back to 2019. Let's look at daily. Whoa. It's been ranging for a while. Let me take a look at H4, right? Let me take a look at H4. No particular trend, all right? It was down drop for a while. Was this a FOMC date? We are looking at support here. Hmm. 159 to 148, another 10 points. Actually. Ah. be honest, I think the market wants to drop further beyond 159. All right. However, I think it is still undecided on whether it would drop further down. All right. I would say keep in view if price actually did eventually drop beyond this 159 that we have marked out since October. All right. I think we can proceed with the downward fall all the way to this support and resistance line at 148. All right. However, I think market is still indecisive, and we can see that there isn't much candle patterns that we can look at. By right, we are looking at this tweezer bottom, which should allow a upward burst. However, it's still proceeding to go down. All right. So for pound yen, nothing much for me. I am still observing this price level before making a move. All right. Let's do gold. Okay. Weekly, we can see and observe a standard support at 1620. Let's look at daily. Upward moving after the V-shaped recovery. Still going above. We are looking at next resistance at 1873, pretty high. Upward moving channel, which will look pretty big on H4. All right, so we are looking at this channel at H4. Seems like price has difficulty to go beyond this price level at 1819. I'm still more inclined on upward movement than downward actually. Higher high, so we are looking for higher high. Not the best time to enter. It's right smack in the channel. However, let's take a look at some historical levels. I feel it's a bit halfway. Levels are a bit halfway. More inclined on trending upward movement than downward actually. I'm trying to see whether is there a divergence. Short-term sell, in my opinion. A very short-term sell, hitting 3 times. Okay, just a bit of disclaimer here. So whatever analysis we do here is purely meant for discussion purposes. All right. So please do not take this as trade advice. You guys are entitled to look at however the point of graph or whichever direction you guys are seeing. All right. So we are just here to actually make some points and make some pointers for you guys to actually see the graph in a different way. All right. If you guys have opposing view. All right. So normally when I go opposite the big direction, I will more than likely to put a very, very close stop loss. All right. I actually am seeing a slight divergence over here as well. So I am seeing a downward movement. I'm seeing a upward movement. Okay, so I'm looking at a bearish divergence, possibly. However, I think this time around will be a very short one. All right, so be more careful in terms of carrying out divergence. I'm looking at gold to be a short-term drop in midst of a upward trend. All right. Do we have any more pairs coming? Any more pairs? Maybe I can have some pairs from Gregory. Pound yen. Didn't we just do pound yen? Didn't we just do pound yen? Did we not do pound yen? Yeah, we did pound yen. It's just that I'm looking at right now whether price will actually bounce from this price level of 159.576 or will drop beyond. All right, I am still in the midst of observing. In my opinion, I don't think it's a good time to actually carry out any action as of this price point. All right, because it's too empty below, it's too empty above. All right. No worries. Okay. Feel free to come up with more pairs that you guys want to know about. Euro dollar. Okay, let's look at euro dollar. Okay, previously it was at a downward moving trend. All right, very obvious. Depending on how you want to draw a trend line, some people draw it this way. So it's closer. Okay, let's look at a upward movement right now on the daily. Rather interesting. Feels like upward movement slightly exhausting. We are looking at a resistance here at 1.07. Let's look at H4. H4 has a more gradual upward movement. If you guys want to take a look, it's something like this. Do that right now. If you want to get a closer look on H1, you'll see that price don't really have a trend rather than just moving up and down between these two price levels. All right, so let's look at H4 back again. You can see a small downward movement in this case. Okay. However, let's not take this into account. In this case, I will still have difficulty believing that it will continue a upward stream due to this. unable to exceed 1.06, support at constant 1.05. I would say the upward movement has been exhausted. However, we can't really confirm until price really cut downwards from the upward moving trend support. All right, for euro dollar, same as pound yen. I would say observe for a little while before you can make a better entry in. All right, I would much prefer you to look at a better entry to go in than to be in a confused situation. Yeah, I believe that the upward movement has been exhausted as for now. Yeah. Do we have any more pairs coming in? You're welcome. Maybe we can look at something else. Dollar franc. Let's take a look. Let's start from today and I'll see. Let's mark out this support first. Okay, we'll look at BTC in a while. This downward trend, very obvious. H4. So many pairs in denial right now. Dollar franc, same thing as well, looking at potential short-term upwards and downwards again. However, not the best price to risk. The trade movement will not be very big. So let's take a look at Bitcoin. Wow, the drop is insane. Okay, so let's take a look. Sorry, I should start from daily for Bitcoin because there aren't as many bars. Look at H4. So much controversial pricing. I don't see anything right now. Isn't Bitcoin more or less of a movement based on a lot of speculated news as well, a lot of policy movements as well? Right now, I can see the price is right smack in the middle of a downward channel. Okay, I don't see a great chance of buy. I don't see a great chance of sell either. I think if you want to say, let's just say if, yeah, we don't even have a triangle movement. There isn't really a price action for me to do analysis right here. We do Bitcoin daily, but however, I think today is just not a very Bitcoin day. Okay. Anything else? Do we have any other pairs? Maybe let's take a look at dollar cat, and then we can look at oil. Okay. Upward moving trend. Interesting upward movement. Let's look at daily. Could move this trend line slightly closer, so upward over here. So, and then we have a triangle. Very interesting. It's a bit late now because price has already taken action. If not, we should have done a small bounce up. Small bounce up and highly likely potentially to higher grounds. Yeah, to even possibly higher. All right. In the meantime, let's look at downward trend for US all. Let me redraw the H4 trend line. Looks like an upward movement. However, I think it might come to an end pretty soon because there's a chance of a downward, short-term downward pull. Yeah, so all is moving on the downwards. Highly likely our small prediction for dollar CAD will be as accurate as moving upward as well. All right, so do we have any last minute questions before we move on? Okay, if we don't have any other analysis questions, we will look at this. Okay, so actually IronFX actually partnership with our company to create a special VIP room for all of you guys, for any IronFX traders. All right, so this is how you can benefit. So you can see we can access exclusive market forecasts. So trade and learn to our interactive institutional grade market forecast. All right. So for example, you'll be able to see from the portal that there are many forecasts that we have already done for you guys. All right. You guys can also ask us questions. You guys can also be doing your own analysis over there and also be highlighting levels like this GIF over here. You'll see you'll be able to link, select object, confirm. And once we hover over, all right, we hover over the things you have highlighted, we will be able to see what you're asking for and what you are actually asking. You could be asking whether this trend line is valid, how do we view this trend line, what do we think about this trend line, etc. So it's like a one-to-one personalized support for our award winning team. All right, so we also you can also request for market forecast. So we can also do and look at any instrument for you, even though you are not on webinar. You guys can still do it on your own time, and once we see that, we will also be doing an analysis for you. So we will be looking at this. All right, so for bronze, silver, gold, we have 5 different tailored account types. So for bronze, as little as $250, you'll be able to access the FX and analysis discussion, where you'll be able to look at all of the FX pairs as well as do an analysis discussion with us. As for silver, it will be $1,000 access to commodities indices and crypto, and also analysis discussion. Gold, you will be 2,000 access to all products, analysis requests and indicator requests. And then platinum and diamond. So platinum will be 5,000, so you'll be able to DM, and then 50,000 will be able to have a weekly private 30 minutes group call, and ability to DM the chief trader, and free BPS access as well. Okay, so for those that just want to try out, you guys can also just as long as your IronFX account right now has already deposited a certain amount of money, you guys can already request for your access. So all you need to do is to actually come to this web page, which I will be putting up. I'll be sending it to you guys right now. All right, so all you need to do is to start the chat here, and you guys can just write down your account number, etc. And IronFX will actually follow through with our company. All right, if there is no other additional questions, then thank you guys so much for joining today's webinar. Hope to see you guys next week. All right. Thank you guys. Thank you. Goodbye.